At exactly 12 a.m., every television in the Boroughs changed to the same channel. Not gradually. Not station by station. Instantly. 1 second, Marcus Hill was watching a late-night basketball game in his apartment. The next, the screen went black. A low static hum filled the room. Then, the image returned. A live camera feed of an empty street. Marcus frowned. Rain fell beneath orange streetlights. No people. No cars. No movement. Just an intersection somewhere in the Boroughs. At the bottom of the screen, white text slowly appeared. A live municipal broadcast. Please remain indoors. Marcus grabbed the remote. Every channel showed the exact same thing. News, movies, sports, children's channels. Even streaming apps displayed the broadcast feed. What the hell? His phone buzzed. Social media exploded instantly. Everybody in the Boroughs was seeing it. Videos. Screenshots? People joking about hack stations, emergency systems, government tests. But nobody could turn it off. Then the camera feed changed. Now it showed another street. Another intersection, completely empty. The image quality looked strange, too clean, too still, as if the city had been abandoned minutes earlier. The broadcast audio crackled softly. Then a calm woman's voice spoke. Residents of the Boroughs are advised to remain inside. The voice paused. Do not approach your windows? Marcus laughed nervously. Outside his apartment, traffic still moved normally. People still walked the sidewalks. Nothing looked wrong. Then the broadcast camera slowly zoomed inward. Marcus leaned forward. The street on screen looked familiar. Very familiar. His stomach tightened. It was his block. The exact intersection outside his apartment building. Except the broadcast showed the street completely empty. Marcus immediately looked toward his real window. Cars still moved outside. People crossed intersections. Normal city noise. He looked back at the television. The broadcast version of the street remained empty. Then the woman's voice returned. Broadcast delay, 7 minutes. Marcus frowned. Delay? The image on television flickered briefly. Then a person appeared on screen, standing motionless beneath a streetlight, tall, wearing dark clothes, facing directly toward the camera. Marcus stared. The figure hadn't walked into frame. It was simply there now. The broadcast voice continued calmly. Do not acknowledge individuals shown on the broadcast. Marcus grabbed his phone. Thousands of comments flooded online. People were seeing different streets, different neighborhoods, different camera feeds, but everyone reported the same thing. Empty roads, orange streetlights, and people appearing suddenly beneath them. Then the figure on Marcus's television moved. Its head slowly turned upward, toward his apartment building. Marcus looked instinctively toward his real window. Outside, the street was now empty. Completely. No cars, no people, no traffic sounds. Only rain. Marcus stood slowly. The transition had happened so quietly he hadn't noticed it. The city outside now matched the broadcast perfectly. Then his television flickered again. The figure beneath the streetlight had moved closer, now standing halfway down the block. The broadcast voice returned. Do not let the broadcast see you watching. Marcus backed away from the television immediately. His phone buzzed violently. Unknown number. Turn off all lights. The apartment lights flickered once overhead. Across the building outside, windows began going dark one by one. Residents reacting, listening, following instructions. Marcus shut off his living room lamp. The television remained on. The broadcast feed shifted again. Now the camera showed his apartment building directly. Rain fell across the entrance. The lobby lights glowed faintly. Then Marcus noticed movement inside the broadcast image. Person standing in his apartment window. Marcus froze. The figure inside the window was him. Motionless. Watching the television, Marcus slowly turned toward his real reflection in the dark glass beside the TV. Nothing there. He looked back at the broadcast. The version of himself on screen slowly tilted its head, then smiled. The television audio crackled violently. Then another voice cut through the static. Male, panicked. If you see yourself on the broadcast. Static swallowed the sentence. Then silence. Marcus stepped backward. The broadcast suddenly switched feeds again. Now it showed the subway station 3 blocks away. Empty platforms, flickering lights, then movement at the far end of the platform. Dozens of people standing motionless in the darkness. Facing the camera, the woman's voice returned. The individuals on the broadcast are attempting synchronization. Marcus whispered, "What does that mean?" The voice answered immediately. As observation increases, synchronization accelerates. His blood went cold. The television had responded to him. Marcus grabbed the remote again. Power button? Nothing happened. He unplugged the television from the wall. The screen stayed on. The subway feed flickered. Now the motionless crowd stood closer. Much closer. Marcus noticed something horrifying. Several figures in the crowd were wearing clothing from his own apartment building. A man from 8C, the woman from downstairs with the small dog, the elderly janitor from the lobby, all standing silently on the empty platform. Then every figure slowly raised one hand simultaneously and pointed directly toward the camera. Marcus's apartment lights shut off completely. Darkness swallowed the room. Only the television still glowed. Then came knocking. 3 slow knocks. From his apartment door, Marcus didn't move. The television crackled again. Do not answer the door if the knocking begins during a live feed. Another knock, then a familiar voice from the hallway. Marcus? His chest tightened. It was his sister. She lived in Chicago. Marcus? Open up. The broadcast switched camera feeds again. Now it showed the hallway outside his apartment. Black and white security footage. Marcus's hallway was empty. No sister. No one outside the door. But standing behind the camera at the far end of the hallway was the figure from the streetlight, watching. The hallway voice spoke again. You already looked outside. Marcus backed away slowly. The figure on the hallway feed moved closer between static flickers. Not walking. Just appearing nearer every time the image distorted. The television voice continued calmly. Synchronization at 42%. Marcus stared at the screen, then noticed another window inside the broadcast. Apartment 11B across the courtyard. A woman stood inside crying. Behind her, something moved slowly across her ceiling. Long, thin, almost human. The woman on television suddenly looked directly toward the camera, then screamed. Her apartment light shut off. The feed immediately changed. No explanation. No mention of what happened. Just another empty street. Then text appeared across the bottom of the screen. The broadcast must continue. Marcus's phone buzzed again. Do not let them reach your floor. The hallway outside erupted with footsteps. Dozens of them, running. Not normal running. Too fast. Like multiple people moving in perfect synchronization. Apartment doors throughout the building slammed shut. People shouting, crying, then silence again. The television switched feeds once more. Now it showed Marcus's floor directly. His apartment door visible in frame, and standing outside it was Marcus, the duplicate version from earlier, motionless, watching the camera. The real Marcus slowly stepped backward into the kitchen. The duplicate on television did the same thing, perfectly synced. Marcus stopped moving. The duplicate stopped too. Then slowly, the duplicate smiled again. But Marcus wasn't smiling. The broadcast voice returned. Synchronization complete. The duplicate on screen walked toward the apartment door. Then the real door handle beside Marcus slowly began turning. Marcus ran. He sprinted toward the bedroom while the television volume suddenly increased throughout the apartment. Every voice from every previous broadcast feed layered together. Residents screaming. Emergency warnings. Static. The woman's calm voice repeating, "Do not let the broadcast inside." Marcus locked the bedroom door. The television in the living room shut off instantly. Silence. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the bedroom television turned on by itself. The screen showed Marcus's bedroom, live. Filmed from inside the room, Marcus slowly looked upward. There was no camera. On the television feed behind him showed someone stood in the bedroom doorway. Marcus turned around instantly. Nothing there. The television version of the room remained different. The duplicate Marcus slowly stepped into frame behind him, then leaned toward the camera, and whispered, "He looked." The screen went black. At exactly 12:13 a.m., every television in the Boroughs shut off simultaneously. Power returned. Normal channels resumed. Traffic sounds returned outside. City lights came back. Everything normal again. Emergency services later claimed it was a broadcast malfunction. No footage remained online. No recording survived. Most residents stopped talking about it after a few days. But in the following weeks, people across the boroughs started noticing something strange at night. Sometimes, standing in apartment windows across the city, they would see themselves watching television in completely dark rooms.